Hey, you tens, and anybody else who's watching. I'm going to quickly do a run through of the extra water crystallizations that I put out with you guys yesterday. Just going to run through the answers. I'm not expecting anyone to be here, so I'm just going to quickly go through them because I don't want you guys to have to come in. I know it's lunchtime. Okay, right, guys, so I'm going to get straight onto it. So let's drop there, share screen, go on to this one, hide. Okay. So this was the worksheet that I set out. I created the questions just to make it a little bit easier for you guys. So I've got my calculator at the ready. Question number 1. So I set these as just additional work to help reinforce water crystallizations. So we've got 6.25 grams of hydrated copper 2 sulfate. X is unknown. Gentle heating, wouldn't be gentle. You'd want to roast this until it was completely dry, until the mass was constant, but 4 grams. So we can quickly divide this in half and say, right, copper sulfate, and we've got H2O. So if that total substance weighs 6.25 grams, and then the dry mass, which is going to be the leftover because we lose the water on heating, so we're going to have 4 grams of this left over, which means we're going to have the difference is going to be the water, so 2.25 grams of H2O. Right, once you've got to grams, we need to count the particles, so we count them using moles. So we're going to do, everyone now realizes water's 18. Copper sulfate, 63.5 plus 32 plus 16 times 4, and I get 159.5. So I'm going to do 4 divided by answer, and I get 0.0251 technically. And the next one is 2.25 divided by 18. So I get 0.125. Divide them all by the smallest, 0.0251, and then 0.0251. So of course this one's going to come out as 1, yeah, and then the water 0.125 divided by 0.0251. And I get the answer of 4.98. That is a mark in the exam, but the answer, of course, is X is 5. Done. So 1 mark, folks. There you go. You got 5. There you go. Next. Okay, a sample of hydrated calcium sulfate has a relative formula mass of 172. What is the value of X? So this one's relatively straightforward. So they've just told us that the entire thing, this entire thing here has a relative formula mass, because it's ionic, of 172. Well, let's take away the people we know. Take away calcium, minus 40. Take away sulfur, minus 32. Take away oxygen, minus 16 times 4. And what that will leave is, we will then have the end over MR of water. So 172 minus 40 minus 32 minus 16 times 4. And I get 36. Divide that, so that there is the MR of the leftover water. Divide that by 18, and I get an answer of 2. So I have calcium sulfate, yeah, and that equals 2, yeah, dot 2 H2Os. Nice and easy. Next. So that's the final answer there. Next, the answer, of course, is 2. The teacher told a student that the amount of hydrated salt in landfodite, magnesium carbonate, or never heard of it. Landfodite is 0. Okay. The amount of hydrated salt in landfodite. Right, so we've got MgCO3.XH2O, and they've given it to me in moles. How fascinating. Yeah, and it then says, and the amount of water lost on heating was 0.15 moles. Okay, so we're going to heat this, and we're going to have MgCO3 left behind, along with H2O. And it tells me that I've lost 0.15 moles of water. Okay, well, that's very odd, because moles don't add up. It's very interesting that you can't go back. Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Because that doesn't really add up. What we can do is, so what's the ratio here? The ratio is 1, because there's an invisible 1 here, to X. Does everyone agree? Well, hang on a minute. They've actually given us moles. So what's the ratio between these two? Well, if I just go mg, oh, how cool, this could be quite cool. This moles here is unknown. Yeah, but we can divide them all, at least these two, by the smallest. So if I divide that by 0.3 and that by 0.03, so 0.15 divided by 3, divided by 0.03, and I get exactly 5. So what that means is, for every, if I divide that, this is where I need to get rid of my things, if I divide that by 0.03, what I realize is that there is 5 times the moles of that guy. So that means that for every one of these, the water produced will be 5. Yeah, giving us the mole ratio. Therefore, if it's 5, then that's going to be 1. So I'm going to end up with 0.03 moles of that guy, aren't I? Yeah, we can even then work that out in terms of mass to prove it if you wish. Yeah, I'm tempted to prove that. Yeah, no point. I don't want to waste your time, folks. Let's keep it simple. So the answer is 5. Next. By the way, that was a tough one, because you had to consider it in terms of moles and the ratio within them. Yeah, so question 4, magnesium sulfate or H2O, and again, so let's go MgSO4.XH2O, and once again, you've been given the total moles of it, 0.185. Yeah, has a mass of, oh, that's nice, they've given us its mass as well. Yeah, slash 4.56 grams. Work out the value of X. Ah, isn't that interesting? So would everyone agree? What do we now have? This is moles. Yeah, there's moles. I'll highlight this rather than circle it. There's my mole value, and here's my mass value. Ooh, what equation ties those together? Number of moles is grams over rams. I've got moles and I've got grams. I can calculate rams. Reorganize. Therefore, rams times moles gives me grams. Bring the moles down. Rams, therefore, rams equals grams over moles. Input my data. 4.56 divided by 0.0185 gives me 4.56 divided by 0.0185. And I get 246.5. Right. Guys, minus everybody. Yeah, minus magnesium, minus 24. Minus 32, minus 16 times 4. Yeah, so minus 24, minus 32, minus 16 times 4, and I get left over 126.5. Right, divide that by 18. Divide that by 18, and I get 7. So X is 7 in this case, folks. Yeah, divide that by 18, and I get 7. So question 4, yeah, just to tell you, 7 is the right answer for question number 4. Next, okay, this one's really hard, real challenge question here, folks. So they've just told us that zinc chlorate, hydrated zinc chlorate, contains 21.5% of zinc. Find X. Right, they've given us percentage composition. Percentage composition. So it is wanted over total times 100 gives me percentage. Well, let's input the numbers we've got. Well, the wanted is easy. We wanted zinc. Yeah, they told us zinc. And there's one zinc in this. Zinc is 65, I believe. Yeah, zinc is 65. Yeah, so sorry, I'm flicking between tables. Zinc is 65. Yeah, there we go. Zinc 65. And there's one of them. So therefore, zinc 65 over the total. Now, we don't know what the total is because X is in it. So we can just look at that as X, the total RMM, or RAM if you like, the total mass of all the atoms added together, times 100 gives me 21.5%. Right, guys, now we can do maths. Right, now let's just make that easier to read. Over X times 100 gives me 21.5. Right, the first thing I can do is I can simply say, right, I want to move X onto the other side. So this is a divide. We're going to do BIDMAS. Yeah, brackets indices divides first, times both sides by x. Yeah, so that means the x is going to vanish from that side. 65 times 100 equals 21.5x. Right, times the 100 up, that's easy. So 6,500 equals 21.5x. Divide both sides by 21.5. Yeah, that's going to make that vanish. That's going to give me the total value of x. So 6500 divided by 21.5 gives me a value of x of 302. So the total hydrated zinc chlorate, yeah, weighs 302. This is Zn brackets ClO3 brackets twice dot XH2O. Take away everybody that you know. Yeah, so we're now going to minus zinc. So we're going to, from this, we're going to minus 65 brackets, that's for the zinc. Yeah, we're going to minus 2 chlorines. So 35.5 times 2, there are the 2 Cls. Yeah, and then we're going to go 16 oxygen times by 6. There go all the oxygens. Right, that's going to give me all the leftover of, the only thing left will be water. So 302 minus 65 minus 71 minus brackets 16 times 6. Go. I get 70. So all that's left. Right. That's what the MR of all the waters divided by 18. Divide that by 18 and I get a value of 4. 3.90 technically. I've rounded numbers all over the place, but the answer, by the way, in the exam, they'd want 3.90, but then you go, X is 4. And we're done. There's the end of the worksheet. So only 5 questions, folks. Only 5 questions. X is 4. A nice challenge one at the end there. Nice bit of maths. Right. That's it, folks. I will leave you be. I hope that's okay, guys. Add your data to the sheet, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.